Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Monday, June 2nd, 2025 City Council meeting. It's weird to be here on a Monday, but, you know, it works, right? Thank you guys for rescheduling the meeting. All right. Please stand for our invocation and Pledge of Allegiance, which will be led by our City Attorney, Tom Trask.
Our Heavenly Father, as the citizens of the City of Oldsmar meet together to address our local concerns and opportunities, we give thanks to you for the bounty that we enjoy in all aspects of our community life. We ask for your inspiration to strive for excellence in our endeavors to serve the public. Please grant us peace in our world and harmony between all people to your greater glory. This we pray. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you very much, Tom.
You're welcome.
Next item on our agenda is our open forum. Anybody wishes to address the council? Seeing none, the room is a little empty tonight, y'all. That's okay. So we will close our open forum. The next item on our agenda is our community minute, which will be read by our city clerk, Ms. Kristen Garcia.
Okay. Thank you, Mayor. Lend your memories Toy Story. Have a vintage Monopoly game sitting in the closet. Remember spinning tops and the lemon twist. Who still has a Cabbage Patch doll? These joyful items brought people together to play and make memories. Now you can share those stories by loaning your item for a special curated collection to be displayed in August. Bring items to the library or the Historical Museum by July 31st. Fertilizer ban to protect water quality and ecosystems. Pinellas County's fertilizer ordinance regulates certain aspects of fertilizer use. No nitrogen or phosphorus may be applied to turf grass or landscape from June 1st to September 30th. For additional info, visit oldsmarfl.gov. Magician Summer Reading Kickoff will be Friday, June 6, 2 p.m. at the library, which is the same time as the Summer Reading Kickoff following that event. And that is all I have, Mayor.
Thank you, Kristen. The next item on our agenda is approval of addition of new agenda items, items 6 and 10. The chair will entertain a motion to approve.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes. We don't have any items under awards and recognition or community redevelopment agency, so it's back to our city clerk, Kristen Garcia, for the consent docket.
Thank you, Mayor. Item 1, consider approval of the minutes of the May 20th, 2025 council meeting.
Okay. Chair will entertain a motion to approve.
So moved. Second.
I have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion on this single item?
No.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. Anything tonight, Tom?
No, thank you.
Did you have a nice vacation?
Well, I didn't really have a vacation, but we do have relatives from Newfoundland here with us.
Oh, that's fun.
So it has been fun the last week or so. Yep,
It's good to see you.
thank you.
And now I will turn it over to our city manager.
Thank you, Mayor. Item number 2 is consider adopting Resolution 2025-12, revising the city's personnel policy and procedure manual. Over the past several years, the City Council has annually approved revisions to the city's personnel policies and procedures manual. Regularly updating the manual ensures that the document remains aligned with current laws, best practices, and the evolving needs of our organization. The city continues its ongoing review of the manual and proposes further amendments as necessary for council consideration and approval. These updates will repeal any previously approved resolutions. On page 14 of your agenda packet is a table that summarizes the modifications, and you have a red line version of the manual in the agenda packet. I will read the resolution by title only. Resolution 2025-12, a resolution of the City of Oldsmar, Florida, authorizing the city manager to revise the personnel policies and procedures, amending the following sections, definitions, wage and pay plan, separation, grievances, types of leave, tuition reimbursement, general rules and regulations, conduct of employees, code of conduct, and disciplinary measures, and the drug and alcohol policy and providing for an effective date. Staff recommends approval.
Thank you. The chair will entertain a motion to approve.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion on this item? I see the lovely Michelle Roy in the audience, if anybody has any questions.
Yes.
Did you have something to add?
No, I did not. That's why I said no.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
I was waiting for what you were to say next.
Oh, no.
You're so excited about it.
Are you excited, Vice Mayor?
About what? Yes, always. Excited to serve.
Motion
Mayor.
passes unanimously. Okay, item number 3, City Manager.
Item number 3, considering adopting Resolution 2025-15, revising the budget for fiscal year 24-25. Attached, please find Resolution 2025-15, a revision of the annual budget for fiscal year 24-25. The General Fund, Public Safety Impact Fund, Water and Sewer Operating Fund, and Stormwater Utility Fund require adjustment at this time. In the General Fund, the Streets Division is requesting an additional $7,000 to cover the increased cost of concrete. The Oldsmar Sports Complex Division requires an additional $60,000 to construct a softball batting cage. The city has been collaborating with the Oldsmar Little League to participate in a grant agreement with Clearwater for Youth. Oldsmar Little League received grant funding approval from CFY and has completed fundraising for its share. The city will manage and pay for the project up front, then receive a donation of $26,000 from Oldsmar Little League using both their contributions and the CFY grant funds. Funding for these adjustments will come from contingency reserves and donations revenue. Finally, a transfer in the budget of $100,000 to the Public Safety Impact Fund is also requested to cover budgeted projects due to delays in the receipt of anticipated revenues as described below. Appropriated reserve will be utilized to fund this transfer. In the Public Safety Impact Fund, due to timing delays in anticipated revenues, a transfer of $100,000 from the general fund is necessary to complete the purchase of previously appropriated projects within the current fiscal year. Additional appropriated reserves will be recognized in the general fund to facilitate this transfer. In the Water and Sewer Operating Fund, the Distribution and Collection Division requires an additional $25,000 to cover a liability settlement deductible due to the Florida Municipal Insurance Trust. This payment represents a deductible due from the city for insurance liability settlements related to claims paid through March 31st and is related to item AIR 3447 on tonight's agenda. The Water Reclamation Facility is requesting an additional $35,000 due to increased sludge hauling and disposal costs. The unit cost has risen from $59.13 per ton to $89.50 per ton, based on a piggyback contract from Tarpon Springs to Appalachian Material Services. That was awarded on council on April 1st. The WRF also requires an additional $25,000 for essential pump repairs and other maintenance costs to ensure plant operations through the end of the year. The RO plan is requesting $15,000 for generator maintenance at the plant and various well sites to maintain essential services and continuity of service. Contingency reserve will be utilized to fund these adjustments. In the Stormwater Utility Fund, $30,000 has been requested to cover the cost of post-design services from WSP for the culvert at State Street capital project. Contingency reserve will be utilized to fund this adjustment. I'll read the resolution by title only. Resolution 2025-15, a resolution of the City Council of the City of Oldsmar, Florida, revising the budget for fiscal year beginning October 1, 2024, and ending September 30th, 2025. Authorizing the city manager and the director of administrative services to revise the existing budget. Staff recommends approval.
Thank you. The chair will entertain a motion to approve.
So moved.
Second?
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion on this item?
Just one comment, Mayor.
Certainly.
On
Councilor
the
Shepherd?
on the softball batting cage at the Oldsmar Sports Complex, In terms of the donation that we'll receive from OLL as well as the grant funds, just wanted to clarify that the project won't start until those funds are received.
That is correct.
Okay. That way, we're not expending the full 60,000, and God forbid,
No.
the grant money doesn't come around. I just wanted to make sure that that was the way that it was proceeding, so.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
Any other discussion? Other than the fact that sledge hauling rose by $30 a ton in a month?
Yes.
Pretty amazing. We're gonna be chasing costs a lot.
Yeah.
A lot. Okay, I have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. Thank you. Item number 4.
Item number 4 is consider approval of the Wildland Fire Protection Services Agreement between Pinellas County and the city. Pinellas County has a need for wildland fire protection services, including response to the scene of a fire, life safety related emergency, man-made or natural disaster, or public service request within the Pinellas County parks and conservation areas. The proposed agreement will renew the current agreement between the city and Pinellas County, in which the city agrees to provide wildland fire protection services in the area of Pinellas County parks and conservation areas described as the Brooker Creek Reserve, bounded on the north by Pasco County, on the east by Hillsborough County, on the south by the city of Oldsmar, and on the west by Crescent Oaks, Fieldstone Village, Coventry Village, Ridgemore, and Eastlake Woodlands, and Mobley Bayou Preserve. The current agreement expires on September 30th, 2025. The proposed agreement provides for a term commencing on October 1st, 2025, and ending September 30th, 2030, and allows for an extension for an additional 5-year period. The proposed agreement includes the following changes. Section 502 provides for an inflation-driven cost changes, adjusting the annual compensation provided to the city by a percentage increase in the municipal cost index as of March of each year for the most recent 12 months up to 5%. Appendix A, annual compensation increases include compensation of the city in the amount of $16,000 for FY26, increasing by 5% each fiscal year through FY30. This has been reviewed by legal counsel and staff recommends approval.
Thank you, Felicia. The chair will entertain a motion to approve.
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion on this item? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. Agenda item number 5.
Item number 5, consider approving payment of $25,000 to the Florida Municipal Insurance Trust for a liability settlement deductible. The attached invoice for $25,000 payable to FMIT represents deductible payments due the city for insurance liability settlements related to claims paid through March 31st, 2025. The city received a claim for property damages. The city's insurance carrier, FMIT, conducted an investigation of the claim, and the city has been invoiced for the $25,000 deductible following the completion of the investigation. Staff recommends approval.
Entertain a motion to approve.
So moved.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any discussion on this item? You're leaving tomorrow for an FMIT meeting?
I've got one on Thursday for the investment trust, yeah, but I usually attend the insurance trust meetings as well. They're conducted at the same time.
Thank you.
No problem.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes. Agenda item 6.
Item number 6 is consider authorizing the city manager to accept and execute the grant agreement with the Florida Department of Management Services under the Florida Local Government Cybersecurity Grant Program and to take all necessary actions to implement the grant. The city of Oldsmar has been awarded potential funding through the Florida Local Government Cybersecurity Grant Program administered by the Florida Digital Service. And that's a division of the Department of Management Services. This grant is designed to strengthen cybersecurity resilience among Florida's local governments by providing enhanced security tools, employee training, and system upgrades. Acceptance of this grant agreement will allow the city of Oldsmar to participate in the program and implement additional cybersecurity measures to protect city systems and data. The initiative supports the city's ongoing commitment to IT infrastructure security and operational continuity. Any awarded services will be procured directly through Department of management services and provided to the city. The grant does not require a local match, and the city will not incur any cost during the next year to obtain the awarded services. State funding in subsequent years is not guaranteed. Staff recommends approval.
Thank you, Felicia. The chair will entertain a motion to approve.
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion on this item? Thank you, staff, for continuing to apply for grants, even on weekends, apparently. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. Agenda item number 7.
Item number 7 is consider the approval of an agreement for the use of recreation facilities with the Oldsmar Youth Soccer Association. The City of Oldsmar partners with youth sports organizations to provide recreation-based sports activities at the Oldsmar Sports Complex. This item recommends the approval of an agreement authorizing the use of soccer and football fields 1, 2, and 3 as determined by registration numbers. This agreement reflects a field allocation that considers the number of players served by the organization. Based on the needs and the goals of the organization, Oldsmar Youth Soccer Association will share field space with Palm Harbor Youth Football Association as allocated Monday through Friday from 5:30 to 9 p.m. and Saturdays from 7 a.m. to 10 p.m. This allocation does not include Sundays or when the fields are closed for special events or maintenance. The league will be responsible for reimbursing the City of Oldsmar 45% of the total electricity costs incurred during the term of the agreement. The agreement has been reviewed by City Attorney. Staff recommends approval.
Okay. Chair will entertain a motion to approve.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion on this item?
Just real quick, Mayor.
Councilmember Swager?
Just growing up playing club soccer in Oldsmar Little League, I, understand the constraints sometimes of field availability. So it seems like staff, reviewed this and the next item with both associations, and it sounds like they came to a good compromise. But at some point, as both associations grow, I mean, it is something, maybe it's 5 years from now, 10 years from now, it's something for us to consider and look at in terms of expansion for whether it's on site at the Oldsmar Sports Complex or maybe Sheffield Park, maybe where there's, just some more green space. So just something I wanted to share again as things grow, which we want to support growth, especially with recreational sports. So again,
Thank you.
just comments.
Any other discussion on this item?
Nope.
Thank you for your hard work, Chip. The chair will entertain a motion to approve.
We already-
Oh, I'm sorry. Excuse me. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. Do you need a drink of water?
I'm okay.
She's going. Okay.
Got one
Item
more.
number 8.
Item number 8, final item. Consider the approval of an agreement for the use of recreation facilities with Palm Harbor Youth Football Association. So the City of Oldsmar partners with youth organizations to provide recreation sports activities. This is the same as the previous item.
It's just football.
It's just football instead. So the only difference is that the league will be responsible for reimbursing the City of Oldsmar 18% of the total electricity costs incurred during the term of the agreement. The agreement has been reviewed by the city attorney and staff recommends approval.
Thank you. Chair will entertain a motion to approve.
So moved.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion on this item?
Just mentioning that depending on how you look at this, these are both on football.
This is true.
Oh, wow.
There's
Nice.
a little language joke for you there.
Little.
All right.
Our Monday night meeting.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. Madam Clerk, do you have any items this evening?
I have no items this evening, Mayor.
Oh, that's unfortunate. We've only been here 20 minutes. Item number 9. Okay, we have our review of council rules of procedure. Our annual review of the council rules of procedure states that the rules will be reviewed annually, go figure, by the city council and city attorney during a regular meeting or work session held before July 1 of each year. The rules of procedure were last updated this time last year through resolution 2024-28. The current rules of procedure were attached to this agenda item. For our review, did anyone have any suggested changes, additions, deletions, thoughts?
I didn't. We had a pretty robust conversation about the rules. Was it last year?
Yes,
Yeah.
we did.
And we changed some things then, so I didn't have any.
Nor I. Gentlemen?
Didn't have anything.
Just another comment, because I got all kinds of comments tonight. Page 4,
Okay.
Section 3, discussion. I don't necessarily have any recommendations for changes, just more on the understanding of how it reads when we are, debating or discussing an agenda item. The way I understand it, each council member has their opportunity to speak. But if they have another point that they'd like to bring up after, say, the fellow council member speaks, they're able to do so, correct?
Unless I don't like you.
Right. Okay.
I think the point of that, Tom,
Yeah.
is you keep it to the agenda item, especially if the discussion bleeds into another agenda item we're going to consider later in the meeting.
Right.
Then you reserve comment until that time.
Okay.
Yeah, I agree with the vice mayor. I think the key portion is confining him or herself to the question under debate. But then, of course, we can continue to dialogue with each other on the issue that's at hand, the agenda item at hand, as much as we care to, until we're talking in circles. And then usually it is time to, once everybody's made their point, once, maybe twice, it's time to take a vote, usually. But I think I agree with you, yes, you could be recognized more than once, if that's your question.
Yeah, it happens a lot where I'll say something and be like, oh, wait, I got something else.
Yeah, of course.
So I like dialogue, so I
course.
just wanted to make sure.
Yes, absolutely.
That was it for me, Mayor. Thank you.
Okay, then we shall consider the annual review completed. Agenda item number 10 is request to excuse the absence of Councilmember Andrew Knapp from the May 29, 2025 Capital Improvement Budget Work Session. Councilmember Knapp requested his absence from the May 29, 2025 Capital Improvement Budget Work Session be excused per Resolution 2003-01. Councilmember Knapp notified the city clerk of his absence prior to the meeting. Chair will entertain a motion to approve.
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion on this item?
I would have loved to be here. Just had a minor medical thing to take care of and thought I could be stubborn and get through it, but was better off sitting at home. We'll go on the record and say I do support manatees.
You should.
Was
I
at home watching the whole thing.
missed you.
Still, I think that's only 4 out of the 5 counts.
That was really the only pending question we had, was does Andrew
Yeah, now you know.
manatees?
The-
Now
the
we know.
gap has
We're all
been
on
closed.
record.
I believe that's likely the only time Sean and I spoke during most of that meeting.
I think it is.
Heard that we were all pro manatee.
It was a great session overall. Wanted to be here, but better off that I wasn't.
Well, we're glad to see you back here today. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. Agenda item 11, council comments. Councilmember Tadaszewski, do you have any thoughts, comments, questions?
It's a Monday night. I have very little to say. Thank you. I didn't get a chance at the end of our capital improvements program to say a quick thank you to our city manager and all the staff who worked on our packet for that. I really appreciated all the time and dedication, all the details, and especially the pictures on each page helps me visualize what we're spending our money on year to year. And then the summary pages really helped. As a new council member, it's difficult when there's so many projects. You're trying to look at it, and going into the budget season, it just made it really easy for me to look at. And I got a chance today to look at some of the older ones, which are not as nice and pretty. And so I really appreciate the time and effort that was put into it. So, and that's it.
Yeah. Vice Mayor?
Thank you, and also to staff. The CIP session was great. Memorial Day, the ceremony. I know Memorial Day is a much more somber day than Veterans Day, as we all know, but you could still, there was still a sense that everyone was in a pretty good mood, and having the little bits of fun that they could, especially when Tony Gross gave Sean the stare down about the microphone being too high. Was it too high? Yeah. Thought that was funny. Happy Father's Day coming up to all the fathers, to my father especially. I am going to Orlando tomorrow for my title insurance job. I will be back. I won't be in person at the Municipal Investment Trust meeting for the FLC, but I am appearing by phone, so I will be at the meeting, quote unquote. And Also, happy birthday to my dad. He will be 78 this week. Go Dad. And on Saturday, we will have a 9-year-old in our house. So happy birthday to our daughter. So she's very excited. As you guys all know, it's my rule that I take them to the mall with the amount of gifts. So she's already counting out her 9. And so I will be broke,
Warm up
but
the credit card.
happy. Well, you know, we'll keep it to trinkets, you know. I told her if she wanted a diamond necklace that she could have one maybe. And she said she didn't want a necklace, so I think I dodged a bullet at least this year, so. But that's all I had, Mayor. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Vice Mayor. Councilman Swager?
Thank you, Mayor. I just wanted to say the Oldsmar Memorial Day Honor Our Heroes 5K was fantastic, as always. 10th annual, I believe. And Councilmember
I knew
Tadezewski,
you were gonna say something. I was so
you
slow.
gotta train a little bit more for next year.
Oh,
No,
this is the gloating? This is,
Yeah.
oh,
This
it's
is the
happening.
gloating. He
Okay.
was like
Okay.
almost a full 10 minutes faster than me. Like,
Jeez.
Well, she had said
Somebody
that she had
chasing you?
been preparing,
what?
so
I had
I
been
was like, game
preparing.
on.
I ran the whole thing,
That is great.
just not fast.
No, it's
Running it is
it's
something to
okay.
be proud of. It was really hot.
Listen, I worked hard, so I'm proud of myself for my slow time that I had.
Oh,
And I thought you guys all looked great running in that race while I watched. You
Good job.
did a great job.
yeah, and I come to find out I got 4th in my age group, which makes sense for seat 4. Like I did it on purpose or something.
Oh,
I was gonna
see
be
what you did there.
fastest, but I slowed down to be,
Well done.
but no,
Interference.
yeah. right.
Fourth, seat 4.
Yeah.
Councilmember Swager, I will say my friend's stepdaughter who was in town, she finished 4th in her age group and she started laughing because there was only 4 people in her age group. So,
That is a possibility. But no, again, just great event. You know, we sponsored that event as well with Berkshire Hathaway, so it was just really good to, you know, be there after the event. We had some raffle items, raise some money for Oldsmar Cares. So again, great event. Looking forward to it next year. And then also, happy Father's Day coming up here to all the dads, you know, especially not only to my, you know, dad in heaven, but all my friends' dads over the years that just treated me like a son. Like, just, you know, I can't extend my gratitude enough to them. So, but that's it, Mayor. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilman Knapp?
Just a couple of things, I'll be brief. Just wanted to say on behalf of the Vice Mayor and myself, thanks for accommodating the schedule so we could be here in unison for the meeting today. And then happy early Father's Day to everybody. And then finally, I'm looking forward to, I know it's a little ways out, but the Chamber Awards Dinner we got coming up in a couple of weeks. So
June 13th.
13th, yeah.
Friday, yes.
yeah, so obviously we won't be together prior to, meeting-wise, prior to that event. So looking forward to that. It's up in the in-law stomping grounds of Trinity, so it should be fun.
Yes, Fox Hollow.
Fox Hollow.
Hollow,
Yep.
yes.
Yep. And that's all I have.
Thank you so much. I have just a couple of things. The PSTA meeting was last week. We approved the acceptance of a transfer of a federal grant from Hillsborough's Transit Authority, HART, to PSTA to attempt to administer a cross-bay ferry from Tampa to St. Petersburg. There's a lot of contingencies, including whether or not we, as a body, will be able to afford to purchase 2 ferries to make it profitable. You know, the crisscross is what makes it profitable, right? Having one coming and going at the same time. It previously was not profitable. The costs were enormous with HMS, the entity that was utilized before, so it shut down. And of course, COVID tended to kill that as well. But you would be shocked at how often it's used, especially for Lightning games. So they modeled out what they projected the user fees and everything would bring in and the cost for doing it. And it makes financial sense. It actually would make more than a bus fare, despite its limited services, generally on Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. It is not used by commuters predominantly, which is also true for the bus service, little known fact. But we'll see how that goes. If it doesn't end up working out, federal grant lapses, nothing gained, nothing lost. It is important to note, however, that the city of St. Petersburg and the city of Tampa will be paying for any costs associated with it. So PSTA, i.e. taxpayer dollars, will not be subsidizing it, which was really important to me. And that's under a contingent on a 5-year agreement stating that. So just a little update there. Forward Pinellas meeting, a lot of stuff, but one thing was particularly relevant to us, which are improvements that will be made to State Road 580 all the way from Oldsmar all the way to, I don't even know what road it is. More to come on that. Certain projects being planned, mid-block crossings, those little pullouts for the bus, for example, so that traffic can continue to flow. I didn't see anything in particular about Oldsmar, just because we have just a short little stint, and the county is obviously already going to be working on Forest Lakes and that little jaunt over there. But the next Forward Pinellas meeting is this coming Monday. This weekend, I attended the Operation Jack's Village Summit, which was incredibly educational and wonderful to see so many community members there. Actually, a lot of people from the Alliance were there, which is so wonderful to consistently see the helpers, right? Mr. Rogers said, look for the helpers. The helpers are all out there. So if you're interested in any of the content, I have the contact information. It's also available on the OJV website. But they continue in their mission to educate on how to better equip our youth to deal with everything from, extensive homework, academic workload, the rigorous sports activities, bullying, anything that you can imagine. So fantastic. And last thing, I wanted to remind everybody that Life is a Donation started yesterday. We are collecting officially now it's official, our peanut butter and jelly. And the city has a bin over at City Hall. There's another one downstairs for the chamber. You know where to put your peanut butter and jelly, okay? There may or may not be another video coming out soon to support us. I hope it's not for nothing. I hope you all bring your peanut butter and jelly at the next meeting. Again, the tailgate party is on the 21st over at Walmart. Always a lot of fun. We usually see everybody stop by at least once. Or stay for a little bit to, go in, do some shopping, and then drop it in the bucket. And the last thing, I just wanted to express my gratitude to Vice Mayor Graber for attending the Honor Our Heroes 5K.
Absolutely.
On my behalf. I was still not feeling well, and it was really important to me to be well enough to get to our Memorial Day ceremony, as well as the art opening exhibit. I was catching up on work that I missed when I was sick. So thank you very much for that. And last thing, Chip, the Memorial Day ceremony was wonderful. I really appreciated the addition of those fans on the four corners. I think that the attendees appreciated that as well. And I felt that it was just very well done, as usual. So if you have a chance to speak to I think we might see the members of the Veterans Advisory Board before you do, I think. So we will extend our gratitude then. And that's it. So with that, we will move on to agenda item number 12, which is to consider approval of the tentative agenda for the June 17th, 2025 council meeting. The chair will entertain a motion to approve.
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion on this item?
Nope.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. All right, y'all. Chair will entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Motion, a second. This does not require a vote. 34 minutes is the new record.
Is it the new record?
I feel like it's a new record. Give me some credit.